Song Qingqing was celebrating childhood sweetheart Jiang Yi's birthday at home. To prevent me from interrupting them, she deliberately called to deceive me and our daughter into going to a ski resort 30 kilometers away. Heavy snow blocked the mountain roads, and I froze to death there. On the day she regained her vision, she finally remembered me, who had been tricked into going to the ski resort. Still throwing a tantrum over this? Such a grown man with no sense of generosity. Later, when Jiang Yi needed Rh-negative blood after a car accident, she began searching frantically for me. She even drained our daughter's blood to save her childhood sweetheart. Our daughter gasped weakly while tugging at her clothes. Mom, Daddy died long ago. It was his cornea that restored your sight. Daddy, don't die? I'll call Mom right now to save you. Looking at tearful Xiao Xiao, I used my last strength to wipe her tears. Live well. After I die, donate my eyes to your mother. My daughter clutched my phone, desperately calling Song Qingqing again and again. In the icy, snow-covered world, my heart died on this winter night. After my consciousness faded, my soul was somehow pulled out and returned to Song Qingqing's side. Happy birthday, Jiang Yi. She was holding a cake. May the rest of your life be filled with peace, health, and eternal happiness. So she was celebrating Jiang Yi's birthday. No wonder she didn't answer my calls. Jiang Yi blew out the candles while holding her hand. Won't Brother Sumo be upset that you're spending my birthday with me? Song Qingqing smiled. Don't worry, I made sure he wouldn't come and cause trouble by sending him to a ski resort 30 kilometers away. Plus, my phone is off, he won't disturb us. Seeing them so happy, tears suddenly welled up in my eyes. We were once the most promising pairs figure skating athletes. 5 years ago, she was drugged, and we spent a single chaotic night together. When she woke up, she believed I had intentionally drugged her to ruin her virtue. Under public pressure, she had no choice but to marry me and start a family. After having Xiao Xiao, she became even more detached from home. Her heart and eyes were filled with nothing but her childhood sweetheart, Jiang Yi. The TV news continued broadcasting. According to reports, a ski resort in the suburban area experienced an avalanche and collapse accident at 5 p.m. today, resulting in 3 deaths and 1 severe injury. A year ago, Song Qingqing tried to cook for Jiang Yi at home and accidentally exploded an induction cooker, which destroyed her eyes. Throughout this year, she became emotionally unstable. With no suitable cornea donors available, she vented all her frustrations on me and Xiao Xiao. Therefore, she couldn't see the news content. Jiang Yi quickly turned off the television. Song Qingqing grabbed Jiang Yi's hand. Did you make a wish? I did. I wish for you to find a suitable cornea donor soon and regain your sight. How nice. This wish would soon come true. The next day, the hospital notified Song Qingqing that someone was willing to donate corneas to her. This is wonderful, Jiang Yi. The heavens must have heard your wish. Song Qingqing hugged Jiang Yi tightly. Thank you, Jiang Yi. Witnessing this scene, my heart aches with a dense, piercing soreness. Did Jiang Yi's wish come true, or does my donated cornea bring her greater joy? The cornea transplant surgery proceeds swiftly. On the day Song Qingqing regains her sight, she sits in the hospital room, awaiting the removal of the gauze from her eyes. When Jiang Yi appears before her, a flicker of disappointment crosses her face. At this moment, Song Qingqing finally remembers me. She opened her phone and saw my 48 missed calls. Song Qingqing sneered. He really was going to disturb us. Good thing I turned it off. Jiang Yi patted her shoulder. Quickly tell Brother Su Mu this good news. She nodded and started calling me. The number you have dialed is powered off. After 3 calls, Song Qingqing gradually lost patience. A grown man with such pettiness, still angry with me. Let's see how long he can hold out. As he spoke, the smile on Jiang Yi's face deepened a few degrees. Brother Su Mu just loves you too much. Playing hard to get is only natural. Song Qingqing snorted coldly. His love disgusts me. If he hadn't drugged me, I'd be standing on international competition grounds bringing glory to our country right now. They continued chatting and laughing. Yet Song Qingqing's heart remained unsettled. It was as if something was gradually disappearing from her side. At the hospital corridor's turn, she suddenly stopped. Her gaze locked onto Xiao Xiao retrieving medicine alone. She hurried forward and grabbed Xiao Xiao's arm. Where's your father? The scars on Xiao Xiao's face hadn't faded yet. She turned her head, holding back tears as she said, Dad is gone. This is unexpected. Song Qingqing let out a mocking laugh. Sumu really spared no effort, even having you put on this act. Those facial scars are makeup, aren't they? Xiao Xiao shook her head. Dad, really? Jiang Yi suddenly grabbed Song Qingqing's arm. My headache's back. Old Mao Bing acting up again. Song Qingqing's attention was completely captured by Jiang Yi. She didn't hear the 2 words Xiao Xiao uttered afterward, dead. But then again, Song Qingqing had always only cared about Jiang Yi. To me and Xiao Xiao, she was no different from strangers. No, even worse than strangers. Strangers wouldn't make her harbor such hatred. When she became pregnant with Xiao Xiao, She initially didn't want to keep it, but the doctor warned her that with her poor physical condition, if she had an abortion, she might never be able to have children again in her lifetime. Therefore, she gave birth to Xiao Xiao, making Xiao Xiao and me bear the brunt of her resentment together. Xiao Xiao stood in the empty corridor, tilting her head to wipe away tears. Dad is dead, and Mom doesn't want me either. I reached out to wipe her tears, but my hand passed straight through her face. I almost forgot. I was now a wandering soul. As she left, Song Qingqing didn't forget to turn back and tell Xiao Xiao, "Hurry and get your dad to come back." Some games lose their meaning if dragged on too long. Xiao Xiao clutched the hem of her shirt. Dad can't come back. When Song Qingqing returned home, she found I still hadn't returned. Usually, I would prepare her favorite snow fungus and lotus seed soup to welcome her home. For 3 years we fought side by side. Trophies we won together were too numerous to count. She was drugged and spent the night with me, later giving birth to Xiao Xiao. Therefore, all these years I had been compensating her. In the end, I ended up losing my life. It's truly laughable how my compensation was worth nothing in her eyes. On their way back, perhaps heaven finally opened its eyes. Jiang Yi had a car accident. The vehicle crashed into guardrails, shattering glass that pierced deeply into Jiang Yi's arms and torso. The patient has Rh-negative blood. The hospital blood bank doesn't have enough. I know someone with the same blood type. Wait for me. I knew she thought of me then, because both Jiang Yi and I had Rh-negative blood. Song Qingqing sat outside the operating room, endlessly calling my phone. My phone had long been buried beneath that heavy snowfall. She seemed to recall something. Song Qingqing sent me a message. "If you don't show up, Sumo, I'll have Xiao Xiao's blood drawn for Jiang Yi." How much blood do you think she could possibly spare? Song Qingqing truly found Xiao Xiao. She took Xiao Xiao from the kindergarten. Speak up. Where is Sumo hiding? Xiao Xiao gritted her teeth. Mom, why won't you believe me? Daddy is dead. Dead. Song Qingqing clearly didn't believe it, resorting to such excuses to avoid giving Jiang Yi blood transfusion. How consistently venomous of you. Xiao Xiao grabbed Song Qingqing's arm, weeping nearly hysterically. Mom, it was you who sent him to the snow mountain, where he froze to death. Liar. Song Qingqing shook off Xiao Xiao's hand. If he doesn't appear, I'll have the doctors take your blood. Even if you drain all my blood, Daddy won't come back. Xiao Xiao cried out indignantly for me. Fine, then let's take your blood. Song Qingqing waved her hand dramatically. We'll stop whenever Sumu decides to show himself. The hospital refused to draw so much blood, so Song Qingqing sent Xiao Xiao to a black market clinic. When the people there heard Xiao Xiao had Rh-negative blood, their eyes lit up. While Song Qingqing was away, they drew blood from Xiao Xiao without restraint. The tiny girl lay ghostly pale on the cold operating table, letting them drain her body dry. Already injured, she couldn't withstand this torment. I wanted to beg them to spare Xiao Xiao, but no one could see me. My daughter was gradually losing vitality as I watched. I regretted everything. How wonderful it would be if I could truly manifest myself. Then Xiao Xiao wouldn't have to suffer like this. They force-fed her large quantities of tonics to maintain her blood supply. When Xiao Xiao couldn't swallow, they shoved it down her throat. With blood extraction needles inserted in both arms, they milked my daughter dry like a blood cow. At last, Song Qingqing returned. She glanced at Xiao Xiao lying motionless with closed eyes on the hospital bed, a flicker of heartache crossing her face before disappearing. Your dad is truly heartless and selfish. Even in this situation, he still refuses to show himself. Wasn't he supposed to love you deeply? Seems he couldn't keep up the act anymore after all these years, abandoning you over such a trivial matter. Exactly like 5 years ago. Still just as despicable. Xiao Xiao opened her eyes, tears rolling down from her temples. Dad was a good dad. Don't talk about him like that. Song Qingqing's brows furrowed in disbelief. Then she heard Xiao Xiao continue. Dad already died in the snowy mountains. Died? Why haven't I seen the body? Song Qingqing rubbed her temples, resorting to such excuses just to avoid giving Jiang Yi blood transfusions. Song Qingqing would never believe me. Our marriage had always been a relentless cycle of deception and manipulation. No matter how well I behaved, in her heart I would forever remain that beast who resorted to the despicable tactic of drugging to possess her. The daughter wanted to reach out and tug on the sleeve, but she had no strength left. She couldn't even lift her hand. Song Qingqing bent down and took a photo of her daughter's face, to force me to appear. Song Qingqing, see? She's like this now, and you still want to hide like a coward? Song Qingqing, or do you just not care whether Xiao Xiao lives or dies? Song Qingqing, you have one day. If you still don't show up, we'll divorce. Mom, why do this? Dad won't come back. Song Qingqing clenched her teeth. She glared at Xiao Xiao. Impossible. The wicked live long. How could someone like him die? I've already sent him your photo. If he still ignores this, he doesn't deserve to be your father. Xiao Xiao smiled bitterly. He'll always be the best dad to me. I stood frozen by Xiao Xiao's bedside. Even a soul's heart can ache, can feel suffocated, struggling to breathe. Xiao Xiao, Dad has failed you. Stop with the sentimental act here. Get him out now, Jiang can. Wait much longer. Mom, why won't you believe me? Those eyes of yours were given by Dad. Enough. Song Qingqing interrupted her daughter anxiously, glancing at the blood extraction team. Take only what Jiang needs. Don't draw excess. They nodded compliance on the surface, but had long since crossed ethical lines. The exorbitant value of Rh-negative blood had corrupted them. After Song Qingqing left, they continued endless extraction operations, covertly selling the blood for profit. Her daughter lay drained on the bed, tears and blood spent. Dad, I'm coming to find you. When Song Qingqing returned to the hospital, she initiated a search for my whereabouts. Her growing unease had robbed her of decent sleep lately. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw us standing together on the competition field. When we were most attuned to each other's rhythm, most connected, until the dream warped into nightmare. Buried beneath the snow-capped mountains, I exhausted my last ounce of strength calling for her help. She wanted to pull me out, but couldn't reach me. Song Qingqing touched the pair of eyes she'd obtained with such difficulty. Since she was already at the hospital, she decided to seek answers. A nurse suddenly rushed over. Miss Song, Jiang Yi has woken up. She halted mid-step and immediately sprinted toward the ward. Jiang Yi lay on the hospital bed with a faint smile. Thank heavens, Qingqing. I survived. Don't talk nonsense. You wouldn't die, right? Heaven must have been moved by your love, giving me this chance to wake up. What a joke. It was clearly Xiao Xiao's continuous power supply that revived him. Holding Jiang Yi's hand, Song Qingqing's thoughts drifted to me and Xiao Xiao. If I hadn't appeared for so long, could Xiao Xiao have been telling the truth? Had I really died? Her movements abruptly froze. She stood up and walked toward the door. She wanted to ask who exactly donated these corneas. Apologies, madam. The donor requested anonymity. Song Qingqing sat on the corridor bench. See? It couldn't be Su Mu. If he were the donor, he'd have wanted to announce it to the whole world. Why would he keep it secret? 2 nurses passed by her at that moment. Did you hear? A ski resort avalanche 3 days ago killed 3 people. There was one particularly tragic case, a father shielding his daughter. When they arrived, all his ribs were crushed to pieces, yet the child's mother never showed up. That's right. I heard the little girl ended up handling the cremation procedures with funeral workers all by herself. How pitiful. Ski resort. Avalanche. Daughter. Each detail matched exactly. Song Qingqing slumped uncontrollably into the chair. Forcing herself up, she grabbed the speaking nurse's arm. Excuse me, what were the names of the 3 victims brought in? The nurse frowned. I only know one. The surname was something like Su. Qingqing, what are you doing here? Jiang Yi emerging from the ward abruptly cut off the nurse's words. Song Qingqing hurried over to support Jiang Yi. Why did you come out? I never saw you return. Thought something might have happened. Just as Song Qingqing tried to continue questioning the 2 nurses, she discovered they had already left. She had no choice but to help Jiang Yi back to his hospital room. Jiang Yi pressed his lips together. I heard you made Xiao Xiao donate blood for my sake. I should properly thank her. At this mention, Song Qingqing suddenly remembered something. She urgently dialed the black market clinic. The line kept ringing with no answer. Finally, she got through. Before she could speak, the voice on the other end said first, Miss Song, the girl you sent here, she's dead. We only took a little blood. How could she die? Song Qingqing abandoned Jiang Yi, dashing out of the hospital at top speed. Arriving at the black market clinic, the small figure on the bed showed no signs of breathing. She scooped up Xiao Xiao and ran outside. By the time she raced back to the hospital and pushed Xiao Xiao into the operating room, she already heard the whispers. It's that girl again. Her dad just died a few days ago, and now she's dead too. What awful luck. Song Qingqing froze, rooted to the spot by the nurse's words. She couldn't believe it. The surgery lights went dark. The doctor emerged with a sigh. Our condolences. When Xiao Xiao was wheeled out by the medical staff, Song Qingqing's composure completely shattered. How could this happen? It was just a blood draw. Why did it kill her? She grabbed the doctor's arm. Is there really no other way? Can't you give her another blood transfusion? Any amount of money. I beg you to save my daughter. Sorry. She suffered severe trauma before. Her body was already fragile, and then we drew too much blood. Even if we wanted to save her, there's just no way. No, this shouldn't be happening. No amount of remorse could bring back the already deceased Xiao Xiao. Staring at Xiao Xiao covered by the white sheet, her heart turned to ashes. Jiang Yi stood behind her and patted her shoulder as if to comfort her. Don't be too sad. What if brother Su Mu is still alive? Song Qingqing suddenly straightened her back. As if remembering something, she suddenly curled her lips into a smile. I'm his only relative. If he were dying, how could he not inform me? So all of this is just his act. There's nothing he wouldn't do to force me to return home. Unwilling to come back even when your daughter is dead? How heartless. I don't understand whether Song Qingqing is comforting herself or truly believes this. Even at this moment, she still chooses to deceive herself. Even if he's a dead man, where's the body? Jiang Eimm immediately picked up her thread. Exactly. Why don't we hold a funeral for Xiao Xiao first? If Brother Su Mu secretly attends the funeral, we'll find him that way. What a joke. Jiang Yi clearly knows. I had already died in that heavy snowfall. Yet he's still here lying to Song Qingqing. Must be really hard for him. When purchasing the tombstone for Xiao Xiao, Song Qingqing specially contacted someone to choose the location with the best feng shui. The cemetery staff led her to inspect the site, but Song Qingqing appeared distracted throughout. Miss, this area truly has excellent feng shui. Just recently, a man who donated his corneas to the hospital had his burial plot purchased here by the institution itself. This proves how favorable our cemetery's feng shui really is. These words suddenly refocused Song Qingqing's attention. She tilted her head and coincidentally saw the name engraved on the adjacent tombstone. Sumu. Her body stiffened momentarily, legs weakening beneath her. Had the staff member not caught her arm, she would have collapsed outright. Song Qingqing abruptly knelt before the grave marker. Is this truly Sumu? Is it really him? The staff member looked perplexed. Yes, this is Sumu. He was a victim of the ski resort avalanche. After his death, he donated his corneas and was sent here by the hospital. On the burial day, only his daughter appeared. Such a tragic figure indeed. Song Qingqing wiped her tears, frantically scrubbing the photo on the tombstone. My face became clearly visible. No way, how could Sumu die? Song Qingqing wailed heart-wrenchingly. It's me, I killed Sumu. It's all my fault. She completely abandoned her usual dignified demeanor, sitting on the ground and weeping. A staff member handed her a tissue. May I ask, what was this gentleman to you? My husband, she answered without the slightest hesitation. Tears and snot streamed down Song Qingqing's face. She regretted luring me to the ski resort, knowing that if she hadn't deceived me, I wouldn't have died. Yet against all hopes, didn't I still end up dead? In her dazed state, she seemed to see my apparition, stretching out her hands toward me. Just like during competitions when I used to hold her hands to complete the most difficult moves. Clutching my tombstone, Song Qingqing quietly whispered all the unsaid words accumulated over the years. Sumu, I regret everything. I've actually let go long ago. I always liked you to begin with. I was just angry. How could you do such a thing? In my eyes, you were always the embodiment of gentleness. I couldn't accept that you drugged someone, let alone accept leaving the competition because of it. But you were so foolish. You insisted on leaving the competition with me. My kindness towards Jiang Yi was just me trying to forget you. I couldn't accept loving someone who's a drug admin. Tearing rapist. Sumu, I love you. Listening to her words, not a ripple stirred in my heart. If she truly loved me, how could she have not trusted me? Back then, no matter how much I explained, she remained convinced I was the one who administered the drugs. If she truly loved me, how could I have died? And Xiao Xiao, didn't she also die within her hypocritical love? After exhausting her tears, Song Qingqing slowly stood up and caressed my tombstone. These 5 years, how I wish she could glance at me like she's doing now. But what do profound feelings matter in the end? Xiao Xiao and I, we won't be coming back anymore. After returning home, Song Qingqing wanted to hold the grandest funeral for me and Xiao Xiao, as if compensating for our wedding that never took place. She invited countless people, determined to declare to everyone that I was her husband. Qingqing, don't exhaust yourself. It breaks my heart to see you like this. Jiang Yi embraced her from behind. Besides, I'll take good care of you in Brother Su Mu's stead from now on. These words pricked Song Qingqing's ears like thorns. In the past, such words might have delighted her. But now, she quietly pried Jiang Yi's hands away. You can't replace him. Su Mu is Su Mu, the one and only Su Mu. Don't think that way. If you wallow like this, Brother Su Mu's spirit in heaven would grieve, wouldn't he? Song Qingqing gazed up at the sky. He wouldn't grieve. I'm the one who killed him. He must hate me. Now that Xiao Xiao has reunited with him, he should rejoice. I caught a flicker of disillusionment with the world in Song Qingqing's eyes. I'd seen that same look 5 years ago, on the night she decided to withdraw from the competition and return home to bear a child. Her eyes dimmed, just as they were today, devoid of light. After the funeral, Song Qingqing returned home. Every corner of the house bore traces of my presence. She raised her hand. Sumu, I'm back. Didn't you promise to take care of me forever? Where are you? After saying this, she shuffled her feet, step by step towards the bathroom. Lay down in the bathtub. Sumu, wait for me, okay? Our family will be reunited. The bathwater gradually rose. I tried to drag her out, but I was merely a soul, unable to touch her. Suddenly, the phone rang. Song Qingqing slowly pressed the answer button. Qingqing, are you alone now? About that incident 5 years ago, we've found relevant surveillance footage. Would you like to see it? No need. If Sumu did it, I'll take responsibility. The line paused. It wasn't Sumu. Song Qingqing's eyes flew open as she scrambled out of the bathtub. She grabbed the phone. What? Sumu didn't drug them. Watch the video. As the video came through, Song Qingqing's trembling hands opened. Net it. The video was crystal clear. It showed Jiang Yi slipping drugs into my cup at the victory banquet. Though that glass happened to end up being drunk by her instead. Jiang Yi tried to stop it, but was too late. Originally, Jiang Yi had planned to go through with it himself, but Song Qingqing clung to me and wouldn't let go. By the time I tried to take her to the hospital, it was already too late. I loved Song Qingqing. I thought she loved me too. So, we naturally ended up becoming a couple. After the video ended, Song Qingqing trembled uncontrollably. Only one thought filled her mind: to find Jiang Yi and confront him for answers. I should thank that phone call. Otherwise, Song Qingqing would have truly committed suicide to join me and Xiao Xiao below. Song Qingqing rushed overnight to Jiang Yi's residence. Before she could even enter, she heard Jiang Yi's laughter. Su Mu is already dead. Song Qingqing still believes Su Mu was the one who drugged her that year. With no living witness left, as long as I consummate the relationship with her, she'll naturally become mine. The funniest part is, I knew Su Mu was dead all along, but he really was bad luck, kicking the bucket right on my birthday, so now every year I celebrate. It's also his death anniversary. Right now I still have to play the victim. Can't let Song Qingqing find out that the car crash was intentional. That burden of a daughter she had. I made a killing off that. Song Qingqing stood at the doorway, hearing every word with perfect clarity. She felt like she'd plunged into an icy abyss. No need to ask, Jiang Yi was behind it all. No wonder just taking some blood had turned fatal. Song Qingqing withdrew her hand that was about to knock. The next day, she formulated an entirely new plan. I saw murderous intent in Song Qingqing's eyes. Knowing her as I did, she'd definitely seek revenge against Jiang Yi, even if it meant mutual destruction. The next day, Jiang Yi called her early. Qingqing, you've been down lately. Let me take you skiing. Find that spark we had at the beginning. What do you say? Song Qingqing gripped her phone, her teeth clamped tightly on her lip. She snorted coldly. Sure. How about you come pick me up? After hanging up the phone, Song Qingqing's gaze fixed on the several individuals before her. They were the ones who had caused Xiao Xiao's death. Let's make a deal. Can you drain every drop of Jiang Yi's blood? The men exchanged uneasy glances. But with blades pressed to their throats, refusal was not an option. Once the men nodded agreement, Song Qingqing left the room. She drove to intercept Jiang Yi's usual route. The moment Jiang Yi's car came into view, she mercilessly rammed her car into his vehicle. Then, she stepped out and dragged Jiang Yi's body from the wreckage. Speeding straight to that heart-rending black market workshop. Jiang Yi, bound hand and foot, remained oblivious to his fate. Qingqing, what are you doing? Song Qingqing smiled. Just treating your illness, Jiang Yi. With a clap of her hands, the two doctors emerged from the shadows. Jiang Yi's face instantly turned ashen. Don't. What are you trying to do? Song Qingqing bent down close. Aren't these the exact doctors you personally found for Xiao Xiao? Now you can experience this treatment yourself. I didn't. I don't know them. Even now, Jiang Yi remained stubbornly defiant. Song Qingqing pulled out her phone and opened the surveillance footage. Jiang Yi began to feel fear, terror. I didn't do it. This video is fake. Fake. Snap. A sharp slap landed across Jiang Yi's face. The blow jolted him back to stark clarity. Song Qingqing spoke almost through gritted teeth. All these years, it turns out I've been deceived by you all along. How laughable. I treated the one who cared for me as the culprit, while the real murderer stood right before my eyes. Jiang Yi seemed to have given up resisting. He grinned and let out a laugh. I originally intended to destroy Su Mu's reputation. Who could have guessed you'd drink that glass of water and even sleep with him? If you want to blame anyone, blame yourself for not trusting him. Song Qingqing took a deep breath. Yes, I only hate myself for misjudging you. So I want you to go down and atone to Xiao Xiao. Jiang Yi's body was riddled with tubes. Bright red blood seeped from his body. The two doctors were terrified, but they had committed too many crimes. Even if they didn't help Song Qingqing, they would face death penalties once the truth came out. They had witnessed Song Qingqing's methods firsthand. Compared to execution by firing squad, they feared Song Qingqing more. And Song Qingqing sat beside Jiang Yi's operating table, watching his blood being drained drop by drop. Was Xiao Xiao this desperate back then? Song Qingqing pressed her temples. On the operating table, Jiang Yi wept in terror. Qingqing, I was wrong. You can't do this to me. This is murder. Don't you know murder is a crime? Song Qingqing coldly stared at Jiang Yi. I've already caused Su Mu's death. I'll join him in the afterlife. But before that, I want you to taste Xiao Xiao's suffering. Crazed. Song Qingqing, you're a madwoman. Jiang Yi's fingers clawed desperately at the operating table. No wonder everyone left you. You're selfish and vile. This is your retribution, retribution. No matter how Jiang Yi screamed insults, Song Qingqing never paused her work. Only when Jiang Yi fell silent, limp on the operating table, did she stop. The two doctors trembled as they collapsed to the floor. Dead, another dead. Song Qingqing stood and glanced coldly at Jiang Yi's corpse. She handed the doctors an address. Confess at the police station. Tell them to arrest me here. With that, she left with Jiang Yi's body. The address on the note matched the location of Mai and Xiao Zhao's cemetery. Song Qingqing carried Jiang Yi's corpse to our gravestones. Su Mu, I've avenged Xiao Zhao, she said flatly, no sorrow discernible in her eyes. Her fingers brushed Xiao Zhao's photo. When I join you, can you forgive me? Let us be a family again. By the time I realized her intentions, it was too late. She pulled out a dagger and made a cut across her eyes. The eyes, I've returned them to you. Song Qingqing shed a trail of bloody tears. We'll be together forever. With these words, she clasped the blade with both hands and plunged it into her own heart. Leaning against my tombstone amidst the wailing police sirens, she slowly closed her eyes. After her death, I saw Xiao Xiao's spirit. She ran towards me with a smile. Dad, let's go. This time, we didn't